Hello everyone and welcome to this viewing of round 2 of the 2024A OSCA Weekend Woodsman Series Chase-Offs here at Rockingham for the Binx Designs 160. I'm Nathaniel Cherry alongside Carlos Acosta and occasionally Vic Bloom whenever we have some rules clarifications. This is going to be another race of attrition just like last week at Charlotte. A good week for our points leader Austin Beers last week, but Vince Isabella was able to win half number 2 and close in a bit on the leader. Let's see if we can grab a look at that points right now. We can. So Austin Beers still leading up front with 1,106 points. Ryan Gavel is the closest behind. Hold on, math's hard. That's 13 points behind him. And Vincent Isabella just 1 point back of Ryan Gavel. Over on the team side, Shift Esports still has a steady 80-point lead, but South Shore and Do Good are still right behind them. Carlos, are you excited for tonight?
I sure, let me try that again. I sure am. Rockingham is one of my favorite tracks to drive in, and the reason why is actually one of the 2 tracks I've ever won at in a professional online racing league. The Rock and Talladega. So anytime we go to those 2 tracks, I'm always having a good time because I'm reminiscence of back when I had fun in racing.
Oh, that sounds kind of sad. You're not going to have fun again?
Oh,
back when you had fun?
I'm hoping in 2025 I have fun. I have a feeling I will.
Oh, well, sneak peek there. So the drivers are out for open qualifying right now. They have 10 minutes or 20 laps here to set some laps. A couple of drivers of note. I believe we have Zach Rogers filling in for Jordan Tarble tonight and Cameron Rich filling in for Robert Hill Jr. But other than that, I think the field is pretty much the normal faces.
Daniel Gore in the 14 as well.
Daniel Gore for Alex Kenton as well. I think that's it. Yes.
This is going to be Daniel's third race of the season, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. Sounds fun indeed. Well, we got open qualifying yet again, and let's quickly go through. We got 2 80-lap halves, but 2 sets of tires in pit road per half. 20-car invert, and as you can see here, we have open qualifying with about, oops, I had it right here. About, I don't have it. How many minutes are remaining in qualifying?
We have about 7 minutes left. And also you mentioned that they have those 2 sets of tires per half, but are they going to use both sets because the fuel window is about 50 to 60 laps. So they only really need to make 1 pit stop, but the tires do wear pretty heavily here at Rockingham, so it might be beneficial to try and make it a 2-stopper.
Well, you know, we're not guaranteed to have a pretty serious tire conversation, tire conservation type of race. You know, you mentioned it. It was mentioned in our notes. You expect the drivers to maybe go down pit road once if it goes green the whole way, but if you get kind of a early-ish caution that's before halfway and then maybe a later caution, that could come into effect if we run a couple laps after that and then we have another caution. So I can see some. There's always a chance that somebody saving tires could come out of this on top, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. But I believe, Nathaniel, we may have something we have to do before qualifying progresses any further.
That is correct. It's time for the Binx Designs Broadcaster Championship picks. Binx Designs is a local New Jersey graphic design company that specializes in all of your custom apparel and tumbler needs. You can check out their website at binxdesigns.myshopify.com or at the link in the description of this live stream. I believe I am up first. Yes, I am. So I'm going to start this off here with the 20 of Cameron Rich. That will be my pick tonight.
That is a good
pick.
Yeah, that's a very good pick indeed. Actually, so good, and you were so quick on that pick. I actually didn't get a chance to prepare my own pick. You have thrown me for a loop, my friend.
Well, as soon as I saw that Cameron was in the 20th tonight, I knew that I hadn't picked Robert Hill. Sorry, Robert. I know I made fun of you on the broadcast last week. But
I'm seeing an early favorite so far in qualifying. Currently sitting provisionally first, number 8 of Vincent Isabella. Haven't picked him yet. Why? I don't know. I'm picking him now. That's my pick.
That's a really good pick. So the drivers in half one, for some reason, they've all kind of come together, and they've decided that they want the 0-4 of Matt Hackford.
All right.
I
At
don't
the
know why
hack.
he wants that.
He
is
won
12
not too
he's
long
fifth
ago. What are you on about?
He's fifth right now on
Yeah.
on the charts.
Look,
good.
my two takes there. All right. So up next in my pick though, and my pick, I'm gonna go with somebody that I'm shocked that I haven't picked yet. I'm gonna go with Caden Tufts in the 00 for half one.
That's
a good pick.
surprising that you haven't picked him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really.
He always
shocked.
finds a way to be around at the end. He's good for a top 10 pretty much every
I will
round.
move Goody up here and he'll get. All right, Goody, who you want?
We've decided you have to pick yourself.
Oh shoot!
Oh, nice
I
catch.
don't know.
He almost said the cuss.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if
so
I
you
like
obviously can't pick the cars you've picked already, but you also can't pick the 20, the 8, 04, and the 00.
Listen, Goody, you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
You know, I might have picked Doer's nose once or twice before, so you know, don't judge. Anyway, I'll go with you said 13. Dylan Thomas, are you available?
Yeah, you can take the 13.
All right, I'll take him.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
Solid pick. Solid pick for
Yeah,
everyone
have a
tonight.
good race tonight, Goody.
I hope so. What's that?
Have a good race tonight.
Oh yeah, thank you. I hope the drivers pick me. The drivers didn't pick me.
No, the drivers
No.
picked the 04
Oh.
for half one.
You
That's
should have
a
picked
good
yourself.
pick, but yeah, they should have picked the people's champ out here. Just
Ironically
take
enough,
lap.
they also didn't pick you at all for half two, so
Dang.
You know what?
Damn.
I don't blame them. At the end of the day,
they wanted somebody that was good, Goody.
well, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, good luck tonight.
Well, yeah, watch me mid-pack, baby.
All right, and that was our friend Goody. We got taking a break from being in the booth to race tonight in replacement of Dustin Dewar. I guess we forgot to mention that as well as a new driver in the field. But we got 3 minutes left in qualifying here. I think we have time to hear a message from our sponsor, Weekend Woodsmen.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
Back.
And thank you, Weekend Woodsman, for all you do for this series and all that you have done over the years. If you are not aware yet, Weekend Woodsman will be moving on from being the title sponsor of OSCA going into next season. So OSCA is looking for a new title sponsor. If you'd like to put your name into the hat, make sure you reach out to Vic Bloom or any of the other members of the admin team. So 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Vince Isabella still on provisional pole. I'm wondering now if it's at that point in the qualifying, in group qualifying, where the track's too rubbered in, you're not really going to see any improved times.
It's entirely possible. So far, we have 3 drivers. Nathaniel, did you join as a driver again?
It's only my second time.
We have 2 drivers that have yet to take a lap time, Rashid Coles in the number 54 and the number 96 of Alex Kenton. Other than that, we're not really expecting any more additional changes to the ticker. Everybody has posted a lap time that's kind of relatively close to one another. Currently, the fastest lap is a 24.77 and the slowest lap is a 25.28 of Adam Peeler in 27th in the number 27 car. So that's less than a second. So everybody has posted a competitive lap time. Yeah.
One thing to look at is the track has gotten significantly slower since the start of practice, because the fastest practice time was set by Kynan Jones, and he said 24.119. That's 6/10 slower than the current pole time. So the track has definitely gotten slower. It's probably more emulating what it's going to be like during the race. Another driver that I'm shocked to see as far down the charts as they are is second place in the point standings right now, Ryan Gavel. He's down all the way in, what is that? That's going to be 23rd place right now. So he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and keep Austin Beers within his reach.
And remember, it is a 20-car invert, so with 29 cars, only 9 cars will not be inverted into half number 2's race. Anybody that wins tonight's race is going to find themselves deep in the field here to start the second half.
And on a track like Rockingham, that could spell disaster. If you've been watching the screen while we've been yapping, there's been lots of individual incidents, multi-car wrecks during qualifying. It's a hazardous place to drive, and the further back in the pack you are, the more likely you are to be involved. And qualifying is just coming to a close now.
Yep, couldn't agree more. Rumors has it that Rockingham may be coming soon to competition. At least I believe I heard that correctly. So I'm hoping that they come back, especially to the Cup Series. But if not, well, we'll just keep on praying and dreaming and hoping.
I saw a leaked schedule that said they're going to Montreal and Mexico City as well, though, so who knows. Let's take a look at our starting lineup here. On row number 1, you had Vince Isabella and Kynan Jones. Starting in 3rd is Cameron Rich. 4th place is Austin Beers. In 5th, we have the 04 of Matt Hackathorn, and 6th place is 17 of James Miller. Up next, you have the 45 of Zach Rogers filling in for Jordan Tarble tonight, and the 71 of David Carpenter. Row 5 sees Dylan Thomas in that 13 machine, and the number 00 of Caden Tufts in 10th place. In 11th, you have Daniel Gore making his 3rd start on the season tonight in that 14 machine, and in 66 of Neil Rutt III. 13th place, we have David Westergreen alongside Richard Garcia in the 57. 15th sees Zach Evans, and 16th has Thomas Capuano. Going down into row number 9, we have Kyle Carlson and Ryan Gavel, who did improve their time, it looks like, a little bit since we mentioned them there. They're up to 18th now on the grid. 19th since Tyler McIntosh, and 20th is James Watson. 21st place, we have Gilberto Javier Gamera. 22nd is Jess Story. 23rd, it's our friend from the booth, Goody. And 24th is Jake Scarborough. 25th sees Drew Eisenman. 26th, Ray Bracey. 27th place, we have Adam Peeler. And then with no time set, Alex Kenton's in the 96th tonight. Alongside Rashid Cole's in 29th and some goof named Cherry who forgot to sign up as a spectator, starting in 30th place tonight. Honestly, 29. That's one of my favorite favorite Sephiroth's designs paint schemes, though. The one that was showing up for Cherry there. I think it's one of the best paint schemes he's ever made.
We have 29 beautiful paint schemes tonight. All of your chase-off drivers have a green banner on the hood. I'm not sure why Kynan Jones has a. We may be having an issue with Kynan Jones' scheme, so we do apologize. I'm going to try to see if I can reload
showing up on my end.
It's showing up good? All right, cool. It's probably just an issue on my end. We'll get that figured out here pretty soon.
Also, Carlos, I have info from Seth saying that perhaps I'm a little quiet on the broadcast.
You're a little quiet on the broadcast. Okay. That's all he said. I'll see what I can do. Why don't you go ahead and talk to me a little bit?
I will talk as we head to the green here, going through turn 3 and 4. The lights are off. We are going green this time. This is Isabella alongside Kynan Jones to your front row. Pace truck will be diving down here shortly. There it goes. Heading into the restart zone. It's on the flag. And we are green. Vincent Isabella doesn't get the best jump. And Kynan Jones
not again.
The wheel. Lucky to avoid a wreck. We do have a spinner in the back. I believe that's Alex Kenton. How have we not had a caution? So many people sideways, and they keep it straight. And there's the yellow flag is out. Vic Bloom has thrown the caution.
Yeah, we nearly, I would say we kind of did have a repeat of last week's half number 1 issues where the outside pole sitter had an issue spinning the tires, and in this case didn't spin out. Kynan Jones did a phenomenal job to not wreck the car, but I believe we did have a couple issues coming off track. I think Goody, Rashid Coles, James Watson all went off track at some point. Let's see. While we're focusing on Kynan Jones, take a look at the green flag replay.
Yeah, a lot happened there. I mean, Kynan did a good job of collecting it and keeping it to the outside, but it was further down the field where the main issues arose. But this Isabella had a pretty slow start as well, but I guess it's because he was avoiding having that wheel spin. Yeah, Austin Beers was lucky to not get turned around. Caden Tufts almost went around. Then I believe it was Kenton. Who else was there in the infield there? We just missed it on the bottom right-hand side of the screen.
May have been Rashid Coles or that was Watson who went around.
Oh no, Goody, no. We'll take a look here at the 51 of James Watson. Looks like he actually got a pretty clean start. He had to come to a stop. Oh, and it just locked up. Oh, just
good, he's
barely
fine.
avoiding the 32.
Oh.
He lost a rear bumper, though.
How? Nobody hit him.
Did he? Was it netcode, maybe?
Maybe? It looked like he went around because of too much rear brake. Let's go on board here with Goody. Oh, sorry, let's go back to where's Goody? Here's Goody.
All right, let's see what happens from Goody's perspective. Yeah, so just a series of checkups, goes and starts. Yeah, I don't think he had any help from that angle. I mean, it's hard to tell, obviously, because we're looking at the front of the car, but it didn't look like he had, like, impact at all.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I didn't feel or hear anything. We just saw Kynan Jones, who we finally have the correct paint scheme on for now. He just got a little loosey-goosey to start across our finish line, and thankfully race control was on the draw, giving the drivers enough time to cross the start-finish line at least once so that nobody gets themselves stuck a lap down. So in that exchange, we did have 23rd and back currently right now that went down pit road. That includes Alex Kenton, James Watson, Drew Eisman, Rashid Coles, Ray Bracey, who's in pit road, and Richard Garcia, who is also in pit road right now.
I'm guessing that's just got to be for tires. No, not tires. Sorry, for damage, because taking a set of tires right now wouldn't really make sense, and you can't make it on fuel.
It would not surprise me if somebody accidentally did take tires. That being said, I'm only seeing one driver that was in their stall for longer than 10 seconds. Excuse me, and that was Goody.
Right.
And I think Goody would probably be smart enough to not choose tires. So I think it's safe to say nobody took tires.
And he also had damage, so that's probably what he was in there for. I'm also wondering if this is just a move to just get to the back of the field after seeing what happened on that restart, just to avoid it this next time out.
It could be.
Well, the lights are off on the pace truck, so this time around we will go back green. Also on that restart, somehow Cameron Rich found himself as the control car here. And he selected the inside ahead of Vincent Isabella.
Is he the control car, or did Vincent Isabella choose the outside line and is just a little bit behind?
I'm pretty sure he is the control car, because he was leading the field on the pacing. Am I correct, Vic?
I have no idea.
All right, 10-4. That's great. I believe he was leading the pacing, because he's also registered. He was also registered as the leader on iRacing, so which means he crossed the line first.
Yeah, it sounds like the right thing. By the way, hopefully, Seth, can you let us know if the audio is looking better now? Everything looks good on my end. I just bumped him up a little. Okay, that's good. If it needs to be pushed more, let me know.
Cameron Rich gets a good jump there. Lots less wheel spin. Kynan Jones had a bit of a bobble, but David Carpenter. Oh, and almost collects Caden Tufts. But they're going to keep it down low, keep it out of everybody's way. Keeler slides up into the wall.
Yeah,
and Carpenter spins, but looks like race control is going to let them drive here this time. But we have a battle for the lead early on here between Cameron Rich and Miss Isabella. Austin Beer is also your points leader, lurking in third place. Lots of good side-by-side racing going on.
I'm not quite sure what's going on with the racetrack, why it's so slippery for all these drivers, even on fresh tires. But we saw Kynan Jones back-to-back get loose on the start from second place and in the middle of the pack. Just can't seem to get the grip.
Rockingham is one of those tracks when you're on cold tires, it definitely does catch you off on the restart. I remember from my experience driving this. And then also, once you only get like 10 laps into the run, then it becomes too hot and you start sliding around. So it's definitely a loose car racetrack here. We're going to get an OSCA 3-wide TV replay here. And it's just seen Kynan Jones on the restart. Also David Carpenter and Caden Tufts.
Somebody picked the 0-0, didn't they?
That would be Vic, I believe, yes.
That almost didn't work out for Vic.
Barely avoiding the spinning 71 of David Carpenter up front, still nose to tail. Cameron Rich and Miss Isabella. We'll see how long they can do this before the tires start to really hurt Miss Isabella, being right in the dirty air of the 20th Cameron Rich. You also see David Westergreen here in a battle with Zach Rogers and James Miller. Side by side, right in front of them is Dylan Thomas and Matt Hackathorn as well. So lots of drivers trying to make moves early on in this run, electing not to go the saving tires route. Well, you said that you've won here before. How'd you go about it? Did you save tires, or were you just praying for things to fall your way and just go all the way?
I did get a little bit of help in two forms. One, a lap down vehicle took out the fastest car of the race under caution accidentally. Just pure stupidity on the driver's part. And also, I sped during one of the cautions on pit road, so I came back around and just took tires. Took additional fuel just because I felt like it, which was apparently the right call, because we went green the rest of the way, and I had just enough fuel to be able to just stay out and hold on to the win. I actually managed to beat the driver who was a lap down at the time, who wrecked the leader, even though he was bumping on my back bumper that last lap, trying to get past me for the win.
So it's a bit of a fuel mastermind race. We'll see if that happens here at all. For that to happen, it'd really have to be a caution around that lap 25 marker, maybe, where fuel strategy would really become a potential player in the outcome of this race here. But it looks like things have sort of settled down now. Lots of single file racing at the moment.
Oh no, Jess Story, Kynan Jones going around.
Oh man, just as I say that, Kynan Jones gets turned into the wall.
Oh no!
Oh, Richard Garcia collects himself in it. That's going to do more damage to the 73 than was already done. And that's an early wreck here in this race, involving one of our chase-off drivers. Let's take a look here.
That's not Kynan.
See what.
Oh, that's
Oh,
netcode. Heavy netcode.
Caused the turn to happen, and then Richard Garcia just doesn't slow down, tries to find his way through, and collects the quarter panel.
We can go on the blimp cam.
Yeah, just netcode there, really.
Yeah, 73 came up a little bit, 29 came down a little bit more, but I think they both would have stopped with enough space to not have an issue. Unfortunately, netcode ended up playing a really big part there.
The main factor of that wreck for the 73 is definitely that 57 driving into him. That did more damage than that little tap into the wall. So hopefully both drivers are able to continue afterwards. See here, we're inside of the 73.
Yeah, the car was fine. So right there.
He really hit the wall. It was a very light kiss of the wall there.
Just a besito.
Just a little one.
Well, right now, I want to say we had drivers from position 18th and back currently going down per road, including Watson, Eisman, Bracey, Kenton, Story, Scarborough, Kynan Jones, who was involved in that incident, Rashid Coles, Neil Rutman, Michael Goody, Garcia, and Carpenter all down pit road for this caution.
You know, so that could be a tire call. It also could be if you think you're going to keep having cautions every couple laps or so, you could probably save enough fuel from this point on if we are on that higher end of the 50 to 60 lap prediction for how long fuel can go. So if we keep having cautions, those drivers might be able to make it to the end.
It's a good point. But I mean, the point of this strategy would be if no more cautions came out the rest of the way.
But they get one. They could get some track position, and then they could maybe just try and hang on, especially with how torrential the restarts have been so far. But we'll have to see how that strategy pulls out, or pans out, I guess would be the proper usage.
All right. Well, you've asked me about my experience in this track. I'm gonna ask you about your experience in this track.
Oh boy, horrid. Many drivers are watching this back afterwards. I'd like to use it as a chance to personally apologize for the last time OSCA went here when I was in the car. And
no, what happened?
Yeah, I got penalized that night is all I'll say. I caused lots of wrecks. Not a good night for me. Not a good track. I'm not good at Rockingham. Just something about how it drives. I just couldn't ever quite figure out how to handle it, but I do enjoy watching the races on it. I do think it's quite a fun track to watch races on. I just would rather not drive on it ever again.
That's a fair statement. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the couple times I've been to Rockingham have been fun. The first one was the one I won at my first attempt. I did not have a good time in practice. I spent half of practice in that race session looking for a missing screw that came from my glasses that popped off, and I couldn't find it, and it took me half of practice to figure it out. So, of course, figures when I panic like that in practice is when I win the races.
All right, well, the pace truck is got his lights off, so we're going to go green again. Cameron Rich is still the control car. He's picked the inside again. It worked out from last restart. We'll see if we get to a point in this race where someone decides that the outside is the right place to go, but it's not going to happen right now. Cameron Rich on the restart gets a good jump, and he's going to pull Austin Beers right with him. Beers is side-by-side with Vincent Isabella going down towards turn 1 and 2, and he's going to clear him.
I think all the drivers on the outside line, especially towards the front, were very careful about how they took off on that restart, considering the last two restarts/start attempts to the race have resulted in a heavy wheel spin for the driver. So I think with the way the car is set up and the way it's behaving, I do think that you're going to have a huge advantage restarting on the inside, especially if you're up in the front. Towards the middle, I think it's kind of a wash, because I've seen cars spin their tires on the inside and the outside. But if you're up near the front, that inside line is looking really good right now.
I think up near the front where you're really stepping on it right away because you don't really have anybody in your way to affect your start, or further back you kind of have to slowly lean into the throttle based on what other people are doing around you. There's less rubber right up by the wall, and I think that's what's causing the bigger issues on the outside. I could be wrong, but I believe that's got to play a part in it.
I can definitely see
Ryan
that
Gavel here.
I think Capuano just barely. Yeah, I think Capuano just barely scraped the wall there in the middle of the corner. But Cameron Rich is pulled away by himself right now. But second place, the battle is heating up between Vincent Isabella and Austin Beers. Side by side, they go into 1 and 2. Advantage to that 19 car, especially exiting the corner as he's going to pull away from the 8, and they're now single file.
Well, now James Miller's going to take a look here on beneath the 8 of Vincent Isabella going to turn 3 and 4. But all this is exactly why Cameron Rich is pulling away. You lose a lot of time when you're side by side here. Looks like Vincent Isabella is going to prevail this time around, but James Miller's going to keep it on the inside. But it looks like right now, at least when the cars are pretty evenly matched, you want to be on that outside line so you can get the run off the corner. Dylan Thomas is now going to get onto the outside of the 17 of James Miller.
Yeah, especially as the run progresses, that outside line is going to be key. We've seen that happen in real life, and we've seen it happen time and time again here in multiple tracks on iRacing. That outside line is going to be such a huge advantage once the tires have started to heat up and the traction is going away. If you can protect and defend yourself on the outside, you may be almost impossible to pass.
Say that, but Dylan Thomas tried to look on the inside, wasn't able to make it work. Slides right back into line in behind the 8 of Vincent Isabella in 4th place there. Ryan Gavel, who we mentioned having a bad qualifying effort, has already found his way up into 6th there by avoiding wrecks and I guess others pitting around him.
Yeah, plus 12 spots for the #1 machine of Ryan Gavel for Shift Esports. I believe that's the highest finish or highest mover so far in this race. Ty McIntosh, Sith Lord himself, currently up 10 spots. Nobody else is on the double digits though.
Couple of big movers early on, but a lot can happen here as the ebb and flow of the run continues with the tires. See Capuano trying to make a move there on the 14 of Daniel Gore. It's not going to happen this time though. Caden Tufts is also on the inside of, who is that? Sorry.
Caden Tufts is on the inside. Yeah, no.
Nope.
That's the 18.
Kyle Carlson almost gets into him there.
Yeah, Jess Story.
Gilberto get loose behind them there.
Jess Story in the 29 this week, was driving the 15, but is driving the 29 this week, and I believe will also be driving it next week as Tristan is dealing with some work-related issues and won't be able to make it. Unfortunately for him, it's his playoff run kind of finished before he even got to start. Horrible outcome for him. in half one last week, didn't start half number 2, and has to miss this one and possibly next week as well, as he'll probably find himself finishing dead last among the chase-off drivers.
But still, for a rookie season, a good showing, and he has a lot of potential to potentially show some more speed next season, especially if he can consistently show up for the final races of the season.
That's true.
We have David Westergreen working the outside there of Daniel Gore. It's going to be hard to make that pass on the inside like we've talked about. But the drivers are going to still keep trying to think, maybe I can do it. Maybe if I just send it in deep enough, maybe I'll finally be the one that can make that pass. Also, towards the front of the field, I don't know if you've been looking at the ticker, Carlos, but Austin Beers is slowly reeling in Cameron Rich.
I've been noticing just a little bit. It could be Cameron Rich taking it easy for a couple laps. It could also just be Austin Beers just getting himself dialed in and running some hot laps, chasing after Rich. But all I know for sure is we have some Rich Beers action going on here in 29 laps into this half number 1 race.
Caden Tubbs looks a little swirly there on the top of your screen. He's able to collect it. We also have a pretty decent battle for third place starting to develop here. Got 4 cars right underneath the blanket.
Yep, going into turns 1 and 2, the advantage goes into the number 8 of Vincent Isabella. Vincent, I believe, started as your pole sitter here tonight. Hasn't had a chance to fully lead a lap yet, but he's been holding himself well in the top 5, but has to hold off a hard charging number 13, a hard charging number 17, and another hard charging number 1 right there behind him as a 13 Dylan Thomas is looking to the inside time and time again, trying to get that position, just isn't able to get the advantage needed on the exit of the corner, and he's finally going to do it now, exiting turns 1 and 2.
Oh, Ryan Gavel almost loses control into the inside wall there. I think he just had to check up to avoid running into the 17 of James Miller, but he's able to recollect himself there. I'm just wondering about how much damage that does to the 13 and the 8's tires running side by side like that for as long as they did.
That will do a lot of damage in terms of long run speed for that number 13. The 8 isn't really going to struggle too much if he hasn't been. Well, that's going to kill his run for sure. But as long as the 8 wasn't like pushing the vehicle too much there on the outside of the corners when they were going side by side, he should be okay. But then again, killing the car on the outside is going to hurt his speed in the long run and the short run after they go down pit road. But unfortunately for Vincent Isabella, he gets knocked out of the top 5 and now has to have another hard charging Zach Rogers in the 45 and Matt Hackenthorn in the 88 right behind him. Excuse me, 04. Sorry, that used to be his old number.
It looks like you might have been incorrect about Cameron Rich saving tires. He's now pulled that lead to over a second again, but Austin Beers isn't exactly struggling. He's got 2.5 seconds on third place, and that's partially to do with all the battling, but it looks like we might have 2 drivers appearing early on tonight as the class of the field.
Capuano's having issues. Just smacked the outside wall once, twice, almost 3 times in the straightaway before he was able to get it figured out. Lost the position to the number 18 of Kyle Carlson, but that number 21 of Thomas Capuano, who was charging up front, is now starting to drop back just a little bit.
Starting to fall down the field. It doesn't take much here at a track like this. It's really a flow track, and as soon as your flow is messed up, as you can see with Vincent Isabella still dropping down the field, it takes a long time for you to get it back. Is Vincent Isabella pulling down low for a pit stop?
He might be. He's dropped a lot. He's outside the top 5. He's outside the top 10.
Isabella is pit. He's the first one to pit. They can make it from here. You know, I don't mind this call. He was starting to struggle. Get some fresh tires. Take advantage of the new rubber, and maybe he'll catch some people off. Because I don't know if people like Cameron Rich and Austin Beers are going to be paying attention to a pit stop this early on in the race.
This could, yeah, you mentioned that this could work out. He just needs the race to go caution-free, and it didn't really look promising to start the race. We had 2 quick cautions pretty much back-to-back, but now the race is settled in. The drivers are spacing out, and Vincent, he's made a couple mistakes that's put himself in a really bad position. Elected to go down pit road very early, but still within the the window. Going down pit road, get himself reset, refocused, and out there to try to turn his bad luck into good luck right now. But he'll need more good luck as he hopes that no caution comes out.
It looks like Caden Tufts is responding. He's just called himself into pit road, as well as David Westergreen is in. So Vince Isabella is kind of forced the field to slowly respond. Now it's just going to be seeing who responds first between the 20 and the 19. If Beers responds first, it's only going to need maybe one lap, maybe two of an undercut for him to possibly jump Cameron Rich.
Yeah, you said Caden Tufts is going down Perry Road. Who else did you say had announced they were going down Perry Road? Because I only saw Caden Tufts now and the 9 West Screen.
I thought I heard James Watson say something about it, but he might have just been responding to Caden. Kynan Jones is coming in now.
Kynan Jones multiple laps down due to that incident, that second incident we had. A little loose. I think he's just, that car is crabbing. I think he's just off track to not get in anybody's way as he's trying to get himself in position to finish the race. Doesn't want to get a DNF here tonight. Needs as many points as he can get because he is a chase off driver. Unfortunate issue with Jess Story. Netcode had definitely played a part as Kynan slightly went up and Jess Story kind of heavily went down, but they would not have made contact, at least it looked like from that initial view. So, and then he got hit by, I believe that was Richard Garcia after he had spun out. That's what kind of sealed the deal for that 73.5 number one. But we are past halfway. Nobody else has gone down Perry Road except for those two drivers who we mentioned. It's just Rich and Beers with a almost 6 second lead to Dylan Thomas. And let me say that again, 5.5 second lead to Dylan Thomas in third place. Ryan Gavel in fourth. James Miller fifth. Hackenthorne sixth. McIntosh seventh. Rogers in eighth. Gore ninth. And Jess Story has cracked the top 10. Number 18 down Perry Road, Kyle Carson.
And while that's happening, how about the side-by-side battle we were having between 45 Zach Rogers, the 29 of Jess Story, then also Ty McIntosh and Daniel Gore just in front of them. They were like 2x2 for about 2.5 laps there. It's starting to settle out just a little bit, but that was some good racing that we're seeing there. See Adam Peeler also in the pit right now. I believe he's exiting. He had a bit of a slow stop, 15.2. Kyle Carlson pulling away now from his stall. Zach Evans has just called himself to come in next time. So the cycle's slowly starting to happen, but for the most part, the people up front are not partaking. And, you know, if I'm Austin Beers, I'm going now because I'm losing time to Cameron Rich. I need to do something if I want a chance of winning this race.
Here we have on board with Zach Evans as he's going down Perry Road. Eyes laser focus, trying to find his pit stall, his pit sign. He comes on in and he comes to a complete stop. Gonna get a sip of the Bev. And I think that may have been a Pepsi. I'm not quite sure. Didn't quite see the color or the lettering. Getting one set of tires, another set of tires. Cars get jacked up, and he's gonna get ready to go here.
I'm wondering what he has on the TV tonight. His hockey team's out of the playoffs, so I'm not sure what he's watching now.
Damn, that sucks.
Unlucky. Well, Austin Beers does dive in now. The gap was 4 seconds when he pulled into the pits. Ryan Gavel also going to follow him.
Matt Hackathorn as well, also going down Perry Road. Actually, no, wait. Matt Hackathorn was having a little disconnection issue, but he's back on track, I believe. No? Oh, Matt Hackathorn is in Perry Road. He just was disappeared for a while.
All right, there he is. So we'll see where these people cycle out in comparison to Cameron Rich whenever Cameron Rich does decide to pit. Cameron Rich is in pit road right now.
Yep, let's take a look at what one lap of staying out will let me try that again. Let's take a look at what a difference one lap of staying out will have for Cameron Rich, as he did go in the following lap after Austin Beers, who was behind him by about, was it 2.5, almost 3 seconds?
By the time he got into the pits, it was 4 seconds as he crossed pit entry.
Yeah, this race is shaping up. This race is shaping up to be a very heavy tire save race. We've seen drivers take it easy on the early half of this run and who found themselves cracking the top 10 towards the latter half. Just because they saved tires, we saw Vincent Isabella kind of run well up front and then heavily fade towards the back very early on due to hitting the wall and not saving tires as well. So it's interesting to see what this is going to play out in another 20-30 laps.
Yeah, only 30 laps to go, really, as you mentioned. So this race is starting to go by pretty quickly here. You can see who is that Jess Story in the pits as well. Gilberto Javier Ramirez also entered the pits. But really, we're just waiting to see here how this cycles out. Where's Cameron Rich going to end up in comparison to Austin Beers? Since he did respond immediately, I do think he'll actually keep that lead, which is going to be huge for him. Big news, right now on the track, Vincent Isabella is actually in front of Cameron Rich, so he did jump him by pitting as early as he did, but I believe Cameron Rich will be able to get by him quite easily.
They're right there.
Because of his fresher rubber, yes.
So this will be the battle.
Here.
Yeah, this will be the battle for the eventual lead once everybody else goes down Pier Road. And, well, as quick as we got on it quickly ended. There goes Cameron Rich right past the 8.
I mean, Vincent Isabella has been on the track for... How long has he had those tires now?
Vincent Isabella, let's take a look. Lap 35, we're on lap 51, so you guys can do the math
15.
there.
15 laps, 16 laps, so yeah, so those tires are already cooked really at this point, so a Hail Mary by Vincent Isabella. We'll see how it works out in the long run. Cameron Rich did stay in front of Austin Beers, by the way, because Beers has yet to pass Isabella.
But Beers did gain a lot of time. He said he was over 4 seconds. Well, that's going to slow him down a lot there. He said he was over 4 seconds behind your race leader, Cameron Rich, but now he's, well, when I started talking about him, he was just over a second. Now he's going to be a little bit more than that. But, yeah, Beers was able to gain a significant amount of time, just losing it right now with the lap vehicles.
Just on the top of your screen there, we had David Carpenter, I believe, clap the wall, but no caution. Looks like he was able to keep it up top. Goody coming into the pits here for his pit stop. Under 30 to go now. So,
They're going to yet to go down the road.
James Miller, Jake Scarborough, Neil Rutt, Drew Eisman, James Watson, Alex Kenton, Ray Bracey are the 7 that have yet to pit at this point in time. And even if any of them were the drivers who we thought might have been able to save enough fuel, their tires are just no match for Cameron Rich's rubber here.
And fun fact,
behind.
James Miller is the only driver to have yet to go down pit road at all. Jake Scarborough in 2nd place, and the drivers behind all the way up to Ray Bracey in 7th have all gone down pit road in at least the first, actually both of them, all of them went down pit road in the 2nd caution on lap number 14. So Miller has the, hasn't been to pit road yet. That being said, though, Scarborough and all the guys up to 7th, they probably did not take tires when they went down pit road, so they just fueled up.
Reisman, though, will add his name to the ranks of tire getters here as he's going to enter the pits here with 26 to go. Just a matter of time before the next 6 come.
Oh, here comes Jake.
Jake Scarborough now diving into the pits. So Austin Beers is going to be the highest running chase-off driver once this all cycles out in 8th place there. I believe Ryan Gappel will eventually get Jake Scarborough. And then, oh sorry, this is Isabella's who I meant to say. You know, James Miller's, he's hanging on, he's still running pretty decent lap times, you know, he's not running horribly, he's pulling away from everybody else behind him.
Yeah, 27.3 his last time compared to Austin Beers, 25.36. That's over 2 seconds a lap he's losing. As he's finally going down pit road, but let's see how quickly he can turn that around by running some very quick laps here with 23 laps remaining.
And he doesn't have to put as much fuel in that car. I wonder if he elects to go for just right sides only, potentially, just to try and save some time. But he made it 56 laps on those tires, so quite impressive from the 17 there.
Neil Rutt, your current race leader now.
I imagine he'll probably stay out to try and lead a singular lap here to help his standings in the chase-offs before diving down.
Car's looking a little loose.
And that he does. Cameron Rich is now up into 3rd place, so James Watson and Ray Bracey have lost their track position advantage. Neil Rutt might be sitting here waiting for a caution, praying for one that is, but I think he actually just called himself into the pits.
Yeah, for these guys right now, they really just do need a caution to come out before they have to go down pit road. That's their only chance of keeping any good track position, because right now, if they go down pit road, they're going to lose so much time compared to where they were. It's like as if they just had to go down pit road twice.
And Neil Rutz unfortunately doesn't get that caution to come, and now Cameron Rich has retaken the lead. Austin Beers will soon grab second place again, and then the rest of the top 10 running order is going to look pretty similar to what it was before all the pit stops.
20 laps to go this time by as Cameron Rich has retaken that lead. Alex Kenton in second has yet to go down pit road under green flag conditions, I should say. James Watson and Ray Bracey have also yet to go down pit road. They're in the top 5 right now, but once they do go down pit road, I expect them to be well past the mid-20s.
You know, and I've been there in a situation where James Watson or Ray Brace are at right now, where you know that the strategy call hasn't worked, but you kind of just have to see it through and hope for a miracle to maybe work out, because cutting it short is just going to make it even worse. But it's just the worst feeling when you're going around 4 seconds, 3 seconds slower than the rest of the field, and there's nothing you can do about it except for just hope that a caution comes out.
All right, let's take a look at how the top 3 have been doing the last couple of laps. All right, nobody is able to match or even get kind of close to what Cameron Rich has been doing these last couple of laps. As well, I say that Gavel put in an absolute scorcher there on lap 61, just a little bit faster than Cameron Rich, but Gavel, being 8 seconds back with 18 laps to go, is very unrealistic unless a caution comes out for him to have a chance at winning tonight. It's really a battle between Cameron Rich and Austin Beers. And Beers just, he's as quick as Cameron Rich, but not, oh, actually that last time by, just a little bit faster, was able to negate the, how slow he was on lap 62, but he still has almost 3 seconds to catch back up on the number 17. With 17 laps to go on number 20, Cameron Rich.
Unfortunately, just gaining that little amount every single lap is going to be nowhere near enough for Austin Beers. And that time he loses a tenth and a half, so it looks like Cameron Rich is probably in a situation here where as long as he minds his P's and Q's, hits his marks, he's gonna come home with the victory here tonight. Austin Beers should be able to hang on to second place as well. I don't think there's any chance for Ryan Gavel to catch up to him. And Dylan Thomas having a strong run here up in the top 5.
Yep. Another interesting thing to see here on board with the number 20 of Cameron Rich is I see lap traffic up ahead, and he probably will catch up to these 2 drivers and maybe a couple more, but with how far away they are and how late it'll be in the race, I don't really think that's going to play too much of a factor. I think if no caution comes out, this is Cameron Rich's race to lose. And you picked Cameron Rich, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I hopped in here, saw that he was driving the 20 tonight. I'm like, okay, my pick's easy. You know, that's the beauty of being so far down in the broadcaster picks. You get to pick whoever you want for the first half. And unfortunately, I've screwed it up quite a few weeks. But this past week and tonight, it looks like I've gotten it right.
And you've been gaining significant time on me.
Yeah, the battle for 4th place.
Oh, okay. I thought we had an issue there with a couple drivers drastically losing position, but that is just Ray Bracey and James Watson losing a bunch of spots there, as the majority of the drivers who did go down pit road are starting to finally lap them. So while this happens, they're going to be seeing a couple drivers lose heavy amount of spots here, as Jeff Story and Caden Tubbs battle side by side, nearly side by side for that 13th position.
Yeah, lots of dicing around there in the midfield for some positions. I guess every point matters, especially if you're a chase-off driver.
James Watson, the 51, is a driver who has yet to go down pit road under green flag conditions and has slowed down the progress of a couple drivers there.
Yeah, definitely some chaos, and for James Watson, he's probably just trying to pray that he doesn't end up causing the caution now at this point, because even the caution really wouldn't help him anymore. It's not like get him any track position, but yeah, you can see he's all over the show.
Go on board with Vincent Isabella, who has just been struggling. He has some pretty good early race speed, but mid-race and definitely late race, he just struggles to keep the power down on that Ford, on that South Shore Racing Ford, as Jess Story goes by on the inside. No problems. Vincent Isabella was the first driver to go down pit road under green flag conditions, but just right now that car is, I'm sorry, where are we? Are we in Atlanta or Rockingham because of how much these drivers have to kind of baby their cars around right now?
Yeah, it seems like the old Atlanta right now. You know, I loved racing at that track. That was a fun one. But these drivers are just trying to survive. For Vince Isabella, that early stop is now really starting to rear its ugly head. It didn't pan out in the way he was hoping. He's down to 13th, 14th, I believe. He's going to end up here in a couple seconds. Looking at David Westergreen there, all the way down at the yellow line, trying to make a pass.
And I love this racetrack. It's just no matter if you're driving it or broadcasting it or just looking at it as a spectator, this is a fun track to just be in the presence of.
Well, you know, I guess for maybe a potentially more exciting half number 2, Cameron Rich is going to have to get through 19 cars. And with how crazy the restarts were at the start of half number 1, it could be a bit of a treacherous journey for him. So that was something that we could look forward to.
Look at what he has to navigate through now. I mentioned how lap traffic may not be that big of a factor, but he's quickly caught up against this main pack of drivers that you see here in the top half. As this could cause an issue for Cameron Rich if he struggles to get past a lot of them. Austin Beers may have a chance to gain a lot of time very late in the race, even though he has dropped down to over 6.5 seconds behind the race lead. But actually, Cameron Rich, smart, methodical man, he'll pick them off one by one slowly.
It would take over a second a lap lost at this point for Austin Beers to catch, and catching is not the same as passing, as we know. So I believe Cameron Rich will handle this. These drivers seem to be not giving him too hard of a time, just getting out of his way, letting his race go on as it has been. Come to 5 to go now, and he's actually still extending that lead this lap, it looks like.
The Cameron Rich is putting on a clinic. Didn't qualify on the pole, but because of an issue in on the start of the race with Kynan Jones, he was able to kind of start off in the top position and pretty much get that lead on the first ever restart. I'm seeing Kynan Jones has crashed, but he's in pit road, so I think he something happened to something happened to Kynan Jones. Let's see if we can quickly pull it up.
I wonder if his engine went. Oh no.
An issue on the track with his car. Oh, a little too much beans exiting the corner.
And doesn't bring out a yellow, which is something Cameron Rich is super thankful for. Austin Beers is driving by that, praying for the yellow to come out, but it doesn't happen. And now we're clocking down to 3 go. Now Vincent Isabella is about to go a lap down.
Yeah. Vincent Isabella in 14th, about to go a lap down.
So about 20 laps ago, Cameron Rich just passed him for pretty much the lead of the race. Now he's putting a lap down, so that just shows you how much a difference 15 laps of tires make. Now he has a 7-second lead on Austin Beers. Rich now to 2 to go. See a battle there between Matt Hackenthorn and I believe that was Zach Rogers. Posting it on the back of Ty McIntosh as well. And Cameron Rich is about to grab the white flag. Thomas Capuano getting a bit loose there, it looks like. He's able to collect it, but Cameron Rich now going to turn 1 and 2 for the last time this half. And I believe lap cars are not going to be an issue at all here on the second half of this lap. He's cleared the horde. And just one more smooth set of corners. And Cameron Rich is going to come home and win half number 1 here of the Binx Designs 160 at Rockingham. And once again, a non-chase-off driver playing a bit of spoiler here, winning. Austin Beers will come home in 2nd place in about 3 more seconds here. And then Ryan Gavel, 5 seconds behind, or 6 seconds behind now of Austin Beers, will grab 3rd. Dylan Thomas comes home in 4th. Daniel Gore's going to grab 5th. And Tyler McIntosh, Matt Hackenthorn, Tom Scapiano, Zach Rogers, and Zach Evans will round out your top 10. So, an eventful start to this first half, and then it became a bit of a strategy game, and Cameron Rich just executed it perfectly. Had all the speed, and he made the right strategy call.
Did a fantastic job. Going to go ahead and see if I can pull up the half number 2 or half number 1 finish result. I'll let you quickly go over that as I have a matter to attend to. Matter being I have to go to the bathroom.
Alrighty, as we already went over our top 10, but as we get further down to our top 10 here, or into our top 20, that is Jess Story, 11th place, James Miller, 12th, Kyle Carlson in 13th, Vincent Isabella in 14th, Gilberto Javier Gamera in 15th, Caden Tough 16th, Jake Scarborough in 17th, and David Westgreen in 18th. Now, I'm not sure if the absence of Carlos is going to allow the rest of it to pan over, but I have the results handy myself, so we'll go down for you here. In 19th place, you had our broadcaster friend Goody, 20th Neil Rutt, 21st Drew Eisman, 22nd Alex Kenton, 23rd Adam Peeler, 24th Rasheed Coles, 25th Ray Bracy, 26th James Watson, 27th Dave Carpenter, 28th Kynan Jones, and 29th Richard Garcia. Those last two were involved in that early wreck in half number 1. Vic, what did you think of that first half?
I honestly, it was everything I thought it might be. I knew we'd have an early caution, and then
for the good and for the
green.
bad. Yeah.
No, I mean overall, I knew it was exactly what I knew it would be.
I thought it was a pretty entertaining first half. It was a bit eventful at the start, but then it became a bit of a strategy game, and lots of different strategies were put into play. But Cameron Rich played his cards perfectly.
But are you shocked?
Sorry?
Are you shocked?
Oh no, I definitely said that Cameron Rich to fumble. That's definitely what he does. You got me.
I'm just saying there might have been a private discussion going on about are we really surprised that Cameron Rich came in here and destroyed everybody?
Well, I mean, I don't think
the general consensus, of course, being no.
He's quite good.
He is quite good.
He's a fast driver.
That
in
is
fact,
indeed
this season he's been accused of hacking. You know, so
yeah, him and his traction control went out.
Cannot believe that. I've raced this guy so many times. Oh, there we go. Thankfully, it's
sorry about that. Don't worry, guys. I took the time to make sure I washed my hands.
Oh, that's I'm glad you did that. But now you wash your hands, I believe we have something to attend to here. We have to make our half number 2 picks. So the Broadcaster Championship, sponsored by Binx Designs. They're a local New Jersey graphic design company that specializes in all of your custom apparel and Tumblr needs. You can check out their website at binxdesigns.myshopify.com or at the link in the description. Vic, who has the first pick here for half number 2?
Unfortunately, it's me, but not by much. Not by much. My pick finished 16th, so not by much. I thought I might double down on him, but I'm kind of having second thoughts on doing it.
Ooh.
Like, I hate to say that, but it's the gosh honest truth here. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna pick the emotional support pick, Gilberto. I don't know.
He's capable of a strong run every once in a while. Maybe he'll get one here for you.
Maybe.
Not a bad
Carlos,
pick.
you're up.
I'm up? Oh, man. I thought I did better than that.
No,
That's fine. Well, I was going to pick somebody else, but he's out in the open. I'm going to go ahead and pick Cameron Rich to have a good back-to-back win.
Man, what a surprise.
Shocking.
Everyone was shocked by that one.
I never saw that coming.
So the drivers, they want Drew Eisman for half 2. I don't know why.
It's one of the picks of all time.
That is a pick. Goody is up next, so I gotta pull him up here. Hopefully he's not saying cuss words. I'm looking there first. Alright. Goody, you're up. Who you got for half 2, buddy? You can't pick the 99, 77, or 20, or anybody obviously you picked otherwise.
Pick yourself.
So 99, 77, 20. Yeah, you can pick yourself if you want to.
I could.
I mean, it would really help.
I think tonight though is the night I take that 19 car.
Oh, what a surprise!
Good pick.
Man, all these
Start in the back though,
picks
it's gonna be tough.
insanely predictable.
That was going to be my pick, Goody.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Terry, who you got, buddy?
Oh, hold on. I gotta think that's her now. You know what? I'm gonna go with the 14 of Daniel Gore.
That was actually my backup.
All right, I guess good minds
Good
think
job
alike here.
on,
That's right.
Good job on being in the invert here, Goody.
Yeah, do
Start
good
outside
front row
goal.
right here. Yeah, meet Neil Rutt. Watch us spin our tires.
Oh
All right,
boy,
have fun.
don't speak that into existence.
Have fun.
Gonna have-
My bad. All right.
Gonna
Thanks,
have a,
guys.
gonna have
Alright,
a
and-
good massacre here at the start of this.
Yeah, we're praying like hell that doesn't happen.
All right, well, we got a quick video courtesy of Weekend Woodsmen. Thank you so much to the Weekend Woodsmen.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
All right. Once again, a big thank you to Weekend Woodsmen for all they do and all they have done for OSCA over the years here. But I think it's time for half number 2 starting. Oh my goodness, Ray Breesy just died at the bottom of your screen there. Oh man, we need a medevac into turn 2 immediately. But let's look at the starting lineup here for half number 2.
Give it a second. It'll come up here.
We're just playing they're just teasing us a little bit here. As Goody mentioned here, the front row is Neil Rutt alongside of Goody, so do good here. Locking out the front row for half number 2. In third place, you have David Westergreen alongside the 52 of Jake Scarborough. In fifth, we have Caden Tufts alongside Gilberto Javier Gamera, the emotional support picked by Vic Bloom this half. In seventh place, we have Vincent Isabella looking for potentially a better strategy play this half after hitting a bit too early in half number 1. Kyle Carlson alongside him in 8th place. Finishing off your top 10, you have James Miller in 9th alongside Jeff Story in 10th place. In row number 6, we see Zach Evans and Zach Rogers. So a couple of Zachs, a Zach attack there in row number 6. Row 7 sees Thomas Capuano and Matt Hackathorn. In row number 8, we have Tyler McIntosh alongside Daniel Gore. In row number 9, we have Dylan Thomas and Ryan Gabble. You might have to speed this up here at some point because I believe we're only getting one lap to green. Row 10, we have Austin Beers and Cameron Rich. Row 11, we have Drew Eisenman and Alex Kenton. Row 12 sees Adam Peeler and Rashid Coles. Row 13 sees Ray Bracey and James Watson. Row 14, Dave Carpenter and Kynan Jones. And then starting last year for half number 2 is the 57 of Richard Garcia, alongside the ghost of Nathaniel Sherry.
How could you? How could you?
How could I? Neil Rutt leading the field to green here. David Westergreen all over his bumper already. Will there be wheel spin this time? Have the boys learned? We're about to find out. Green flag is out. And it looks like they did learn their lesson. So we're going to have a clean start here to start half number 2.
Hot dog, gentlemen. Great initiation. No issues here on the initial start of half number 2 compared to the initial start of both half 1 last week and this week. As we had a couple drivers just lightly smack the outside wall, but Neil Rutt pulls away, but no competition there as we have David Westergreen in 2nd, Caden Tuff 3rd, Mike Goodman 4th, and we got one driver off track.
Ooh, is that down there? It looks like he's gotten back on. Was that Drew Eisenman?
Oh, that was Drew Eisenman, yeah.
So the driver's pick getting into trouble pretty early on. Not sure if he just got loose off of the corner or if he had some help here. Looks like
he
just
he hit that bump
in the middle of the corner. Good job saving it there, not sending it down into the pit barrels. That would have been the end of his night. You know, Neil Rutt did have some speed in that first half. It's not like he just got the invert because he was slow and just happened to be there. He stayed out just really late and then was one of the last people to pit, but he had speed, so he should be able to hang on up front here for a while. But Vince Isabella is that first real challenger that's working his way through the field.
Okay, Vincent Isabella, as you mentioned. Trying to see where he's at right now.
This Isabella is in 4th place right now.
Yep, 4th place. Up 3 spots.
And we
Daniel.
have a caution.
Uh-oh. Adam Peeler around Big Rack, 77 to 6 of Me Fine. A lot of drivers have gone around.
Me Fine is not fine. David Carpenter's involved. I'll have to get a look at exactly what happened here. But another early caution here for half number 2. Oh, Cameron Rich just get. Oh, Cameron Rich went up in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
my race pick.
Dang.
Oh, net
That was
code.
net code.
Huge
it all started
factor.
with net code, and then just everybody kind of piled in. Oh, Ray Bracey got unlucky to be involved in that. Looks like he's able to avoid the wall.
Oh, I think he'll be okay. Cameron Rich, Drew Eisman, Dave Carpenter, they all got meatball flags.
That's a rough start to the half there. I mean, Cameron Rich, he's only out here for wins, so he'll probably just pack it up and go home. Said Drew Eisman and Dave Carpenter as well.
Yep, they all got meatball flags. Brandon Jones did a fantastic job to come to a near stop to not get involved in this incident.
Yeah, good job by Kynan Jones there. He was involved in an early one last half that was made worse by someone not braking, so he didn't want to be on the other end of it, let's just say. He wanted to learn from that lesson, and he was able to make it through cleanly, and he'll be able to continue on here.
I want to see if we can get an onboard here with Cameron Rich and kind of see what happened to him. Go here to the gyro cam.
Just got tapped by some net code, and then it weight shifted, it looks like. Surprised he has a meatball from that, actually. Didn't really seem like a meatball offense there.
Maybe like a 2-second meatball.
Yeah, because the meatball's cleared for him already.
Actually, yeah, it's already been cleared. Actually, it's been cleared for Carpenter and Drew Eisman as well.
So really quick meatballs. So hopefully all those drivers will be able to get back out there and continue racing on here.
Look at the
Pulse has
Discord.
just gotten a
Oh, it's
pit
okay.
road penalty for too many boxes. Neil Rutt is going to still be your control car here. This will be lining up alongside David Westergreen.
Neil Rudd did a good job of holding on to the lead for the initial start of the race, and is pulling away from Mustard Green just a little bit in the rest of the field.
And an interesting development. Neil Rutt is selecting the outside here on this restart. So that's
Yeah, I mean, if
first
you're the
time we've
control
seen
car,
somebody-
I think
Yeah,
it's
we've seen
fine.
somebody on a restart first time choosing the outside. We'll see how that works out for him. Maybe he's just trying to keep Vincent Isabella right behind him. Not giving him a chance to shoot the gap here. It is 1 to green this time now. So we'll be going back green on lap 9 of 80. Still a long ways to go here. Update on a couple of other high finishers in the last half. Austin Bierce currently sitting in 19th. Ryan Gavel 16th. Who else was in the top 5? Dylan Thomas 17th, and Daniel Gore was also in the top 5 last half, sitting in 11th. So not a lot of movement there early on for those drivers, but it's a long race. Lots of time to go.
Ray
Austin
Bracey,
Bierce
Cameron
is
Rich. Ray Bracey, Cameron Rich all went a lap down, and Drew Carpenter also a lap down, but he's trying to get himself back up. And it looks like Drew Eisman is still in pit road repairing damage.
Austin Beers was yelling in the driver's text chat that tires will spin. So we'll see if his competitors have listened to that warning. Neil Rutt will control the field here as we come to the green flag. He gets a good jump, and that inside doesn't go at all. So Neil Rutt's going to easily take the lead here. He almost cleared Goody on the almost cleared Goody of David Westergreen there. But now Vince Isabella's instantly making a move to the lead, and he's going to grab it. Not much of a contest. Vincent Isabella's going to be able to clear the 66 and Neil Rutt. Now, Vincent Isabella's got to put as much space as he can between him and the rest of the field before those other drivers make it up to the front. Vincent Isabella, remember...
No, go on.
Sorry, go for it. Last week, Vincent Isabella was the chase-off driver that did manage to win a race due to a late race caution after Ethan Stanley dominated both halves, but couldn't quite make the strategy work on the second half due to a caution. We're 4 wide, staggered 4 wide. Going to corner, and it's going to collect Austin Beers. Ryan Gavel's also involved, just barely touching the wall. Kynan Jones. Man.
So trouble for your top 2 finishers in half number 1, although this time looks like Austin Beers will possibly not get a meatball flag in that one, but he's going to lose a bunch of track position and possibly some cool.
Yeah, it's gonna heat up his tires a little bit. That's definitely where he's gonna lose some cool, but that's gonna hurt your points leader at the moment. Yeah, 4 wide there. He was in a staggered 4 wide with 3 shift cars, and there's not enough room on this track really to do that. And Austin Beers goes around, doesn't really make contact with anything. I think everybody really didn't have any heavy contact. Just those tires are probably all toast. Unfortunately, just not enough room there. 4 cars trying to fit into a spot that usually only fits 2 cars. You're bound to have a wreck then. Let's see what happened to Kynan Jones here. Well, he tapped the wall going into the corner, and then he sees the wreck. And he just barely gets by Ryan Gavel, and then he tried to slam on the brakes, and it got a little bit loose. But
he got clipped by Gavel.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he did. Let's take a look at it from a zoomed-in angle. Once they get off here in 3 and 4, you're gonna see him get clipped, possibly right around the poggers area. Netcode played a factor again. That one could be significant damage again to the 73.
I hope he's okay to go here. Let's look. Yeah, he doesn't have a meatball. There's a discussion with race control. Race control has deemed that to be on the 1 car for moving up into the 99, who then moved up into the 19. The 1 car did not agree with that call, but no EOLs, I believe, at this point. Oh no, there is an EOL at this point because it was within a certain amount after the caution. Let's see if we have another look at it here to see what happened. Oh, you just a bit of contact, and yeah, shot the 99 up the track. So I believe that's the right call there.
Let's take a look at it from, like, I don't know, the chopper cam. It could also just be him forcing himself into what he probably thought was 3 wide, but ended up being 4 wide scenario. Let's take a look at the chopper cam here. Let's speed it up and then slow it down. Right there. That's a really bad angle to take that corner. 99 probably really isn't expecting everybody to be there on the inside. But yeah, he does drift up. Does make contact with the 99 that could result. It's either he does.
I'm not sure if Gilberto just tried to react to avoid it, and then Gilberto hadn't realized that he'd be sent 4 because he was just originally 3. Ran out of room, but I mean, the one did make a pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
The one made a pretty aggressive move, whether contact was made or not, going into the corner.
I do agree with race control. I feel like this would not have happened if the one did not force that 3 wide there.
Well, we're going to do this restart again here. Vincent Isabella, he's now your control car on the inside, but Neil Rutt seemed to really like that outside in the last restart. Let's see what he can do here. How about Goody still up in 5th? Our broadcaster, he's making us proud here tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see Goody having himself a good run, mostly because of the invert, but he's 14 laps into this race and holding on to a good top 5 position right now.
See, he should have picked himself. Not at all just because I wanted to gain points on him. He just should have picked himself. Pace truck is about to pull off here. Vincent Isabella will control the field this time. Pace truck is off. Vincent Isabella enters the restart zone, and he's going to go, and he gets a good jump again. Neil Rutt gets a bit of tire spin. That's going to open the door for Caden Tufts, but he does not shoot the gap. He's just going to try and tuck in underneath him behind the 9 of David Westergreen. Now Caden Tubbs is going to make it 3 wide. No, he backs out. He thinks better of it. That could have been disaster there if he'd sent it in deep.
Yeah, we saw what happened there with the 1, the 99, and the I forgot who else, Austin Beers in the 19. As it's a wise decision by the 0-0 to not force it 3 wide this quickly onto a restart. But he's going to try to slowly pass his way one by one as he's on the inside of the 9 going into 1 and 2 on the backstretch right now. Loses the advantage, gains it back on corner entry, but loses it again in the early to mid corner of the section as now the 66 has the advantage and the run on the outside line as the 0-0 is not going to lose more time, and the 52 is now onto his outside.
Yeah, Caden Tubbs also got loose there off of turn 4, and that's going to help all this freight train on the outside try to continue to pass him here. He's still got 2 more cars to deal with. I believe that's Matt Hackathorn and Tyler McIntosh. They're still trying to make their way by.
Mike Goodman has dropped from 5th down to 8th as Jess Story is looking up onto his outside. He's almost there, but gets blocked off by the 32 going into 1 and 2. Single foul they go. As the 32 is going to hold on to the 8th place position right now as Caden Tubbs and Ty McIntosh is going around Caden Tubbs right now for that position as Caden Tubbs is finally having a chance to have the racetrack all to himself after losing a lot of spots here.
And that's just a great example there of what's happening to Caden Tubbs, of how one mistake can really just throw you off for several laps here at this track. It's a flow track. You really need to be running the same line every single lap, but as soon as something disrupts it, you lose a lot of time. Daniel Gore, I believe, was 3 wide there. And he
wrecking in the back.
And that's going to be a caution. Daniel Gore.
Ray Bracey, 96.
The wreck's still happening. That's Alex Kenton.
Take a look at what happened.
Daniel Gore was 3 wide. I don't know if they just ran out of space. If he came up, looks like he might have came up a bit too much in the
yeah.
Jones got up into, I believe that was the 17 of James Miller that came down a bit, but Ray Bracey was so close to making that a way worse than it was.
Yes. 14 kind of shoved the 73 up into the middle, and it looked like if there wasn't a third car on the outside line, that would have been okay because it looks like 73 was like, fine, you can move me up. But when the 73 couldn't go up any higher, that's when the 14 got turned.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 14 just kind of pinched in between himself and James Miller. Not sure if they weren't fully aware of the presence of the 17, exactly where he was, but that is what caused the wreck. Let's see what happened here to 96, Alex Kenton. He's slowing down.
Cameron Rich! That's a very un-Cameron Rich-like thing that just happened. What happened here?
I think, go back, I think he might have had some help from Ray Bracey. I believe Ray Bracey might have gotten to the rear of Cameron Rich there as he was trying to avoid it, because Cameron Rich, I believe, got off the gas and then, see, he gets loose, I think, and that's why Ray Bracey was all over the shop trying to not hit Daniel Gore as well. See if we can get a look on board the 7 here.
Yeah, Cameron Rich is not the type of driver that's going to arc a brake into somebody. So it's either something was on his mind or, right there, he got some help from the 7 and it almost ran into the number 14.
So close call there for the 20 of Cameron Rich. Or, sorry, for the 7 of Ray Bracey. He's going to be able to continue on.
Goodman going down pit road.
Now into the pits.
All right, so here are the drivers that went down pit road this time by. Goodman, as you can clearly see. James Miller. Ryan Gabel, James Watson, Kynan Jones, Austin Beard, Thomas Capuano, Ray Bracey, Rashid Coles, Dave Carpenter, Daniel Gore, Cameron Rich, Eisenman, and Kenton have all gone down pit road this time by.
So some potential pit strategy now really starting to play out for those drivers as we're within that fuel window. We're under 60 laps to go, so this is potentially now at a point where they could make it all the way to the end of this race. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But Vincent Isabella, obviously, he doesn't want to give up that track position. We'll see if he makes the right strategy call this time around. In the last race, it didn't work out in his favor, but he has a chance to really just try and run some open air laps here, save his tires as much as he can, and then just kind of go straight to the end once he is forced to pit. We are going green next time. David Westergreen will now be alongside him on the outside. Neil Rutz and Jake Scarborough make up that second row, with Matt Hackathorn and Tyler McIntosh in the third row. Caden Tufts has just requested that somebody should wreck him so he can go to sleep. We'll see if somebody obliges.
That's the mentality some of these guys have. 15 races into this season. We're almost done, Caden. We're almost done with the race. We're almost done with the season, and you can go to rest.
To be fair for Caden, he's an hour ahead of y'all, so it's like 11 o'clock for him already. So he's.
How's he an hour ahead of us?
He's in Nova Scotia, right?
Oh, they are an hour ahead.
And looks like everyone's going to be able to survive, and Princess Bell gets a clean jump here. Neil Rutz able to follow through.
Yeah, slight issue for a couple of drivers there on the outside line here in the restart. But other than that, everybody else is A-OK. As Isabella out front. Neil Rutt still holding on to a top 2 position there from starting on the pole. Matt the Hackathorn in 3rd place, McIntosh 4th, and Westergreen battling for that 4th place position, currently in 5th place. Has the advantage on the outside line there going into 1 and 2, but actually not he gets a good run on the outside. He's going to hold on to that position. And Caden Tubbs, well, how the turntables for the number 00, as he is now on the outside line and moving past the driver.
Richard Garcia had a big snap of understeer off of the corner there, almost got up into the 29 of Jess Story, but was able to survive it. Lots of side-by-side racing early on.
No!
When Tyler McIntosh is in the wall. Jake Scarborough almost runs into, who is that down low? Dylan Thomas, trying to get around his teammate there. But looks like everything's going to be fine. Tyler McIntosh's camera is shaking from the rumble of his wheel here. That's how aggressive the track is here on your force feedback. You really feel it driving through these corners.
I wonder if it's a rumble.
Tyler and I actually have the same wheel.
Ooh.
Yeah, Logitech's GTX Racing Wheel Leather Edition or whatever. I forget the exact syllables, but we have the same wheel. So whenever he beats me, it's actually just because he's better than me. I can't use any other excuse.
No, he just has a better gaming chair.
He did tell me last night he just bought a new gaming chair.
Yeah, he's got the gaming chair, the gaming carpet. That adds extra horsepower.
He also is a Sith Lord. He's not really showing it that well tonight. You can barely see the red mic, just barely at the bottom of the screen there.
Well, listen, he bounced off the wall, but it's making him work. I thought he was going to lose a couple spots here and there. He passed a couple drivers there on the outside line, using that Sith Lord power to get that outside line working as the 45 smacks the outside wall, and a couple of drivers behind them are like Monkey See, Monkey Do, Monkey P all over you as they also hit the outside wall.
Sorry, can you repeat that for me?
No.
What'd you just say to me?
3 wide, they're going to turns 1 and 2.
This is one of those tracks, though, where if you're just focusing on the guy in front of you and they hit the wall, you're almost guaranteed to hit the wall as well, because you're basing your mark so much off of what's going around you. Austin Beers almost snaps into the wall there, that you kind of lose track of where the track is sometimes.
Meanwhile, up ahead, Vincent Isabella still by himself. Good save margin to Neil Rutt in second, who's really having himself another great race tonight. Hackathorn as well in third. These 3 drivers kind of the class of the field as the 445 goes
Zach
around.
Rogers.
Caution's out.
No one else is going to get involved, but that's going to end the 45s night.
It's one of my cars involved. Get the meme out, boys.
Oh no, Goody has also lost connection.
Oh, Goody.
That's horrific.
Well, let's take a look and see what happened.
Definitely looked like he had some sort of help there. It was about halfway down the straightaway.
Oh, is that the 1 or that's the 18 that came down?
Yeah, Kyle Carlson came down a little bit, just sideswiped him, and Zach Rogers is just kind of a passenger from that point on.
Let's see if anybody's going to go down pit road. Oh, we're going to have some yellow pit stops here. Drivers going down pit road right now.
Ryan Gavel stayed out.
That's interesting.
I believe he was one of those drivers that pit on the last time, so I'm wondering if he doesn't have a set of tires to put on anyways at this point.
I don't know about that. I mean, well, sorry. I maybe that's true. I don't know about this call though, so I'm trying to say if he doesn't have tires,
just him and Kynan, and Kynan.
If they don't have tires, then yeah, that's all they can do. But why would they not have tires 33 laps into this race? So this is an interesting call, unless you get like a caution with like 10 laps to go.
They might be trying to save a set of tires for later on in the race, but that's a bold call because in the last half we had these early cautions and then we just went green for about 50 laps. So
a lot of the guys in here, just took fuel.
Interesting. So they couldn't make it because of. Has Vincent Isabella taken tires at all tonight?
I don't know. Gavel, Kynan Jones, they all stayed out, so we don't have to worry about them. James Miller, 5.15 second pit stops. Rashid Coles, he had a 15.28 second pit stop, but he's going down pit road again. Actually, could just be that he missed his stall that last time by. Austin Beers had a 5.82 second pit stop. Capuano, 5 second pit stop. Vincent Isabella had a 15.38 second pit stop, so he's the first driver with 4 fresh tires. Ray Bracey, 5.5 second pit stop. Matt Hackathorn, Neil Rutt with a 14 and a 15 second pit stop, respectively. So they also have 4 fresh tires. Everybody behind him at this point now has 4 fresh tires. So interesting that like 5 to 6 drivers decided to stay out and not take fuel.
Yeah, so we'll see how that pans out here. Vince Isabella's going to be in a great spot here, only in the 3rd row and on fresher tires than the rest of the field, really. So we'll see how this pans out, but Ryan Gavel will lead, will be the control car here for the first time tonight alongside Kynan Jones. So Kynan Jones really regaining some track position there with that call. I believe we'll be getting the 1 to go signal this time by. We do.
Yes, we do.
So I guess the eyes are on Vincent Isabella here. How much is he going to be able to make that fresh rubber work? Will drivers like Austin Beers and Ryan Gavel be able to keep him behind, or is it just going to be a fruitless effort here?
This definitely has piqued my interest. I'm not quite sure exactly how this is going to work out, but I also expected everybody but the top 2 to have 4 fresh tires. So this will throw a wrench in my plans. I'm sure some of them are expecting there to be a couple more cautions, or at least 1 caution with like 15 or so laps remaining. That would be kind of 15 to 20. That would be a good sweet spot of going back to green from a caution for these drivers to have run enough laps for tires to really matter again, and to go down for those that have an extra set of tires down on their reserves.
Well, we're about to find out how this all plays out here. The pace truck is off. Ryan Gavel will bring the field to the green flag. And he gets a really bad start, packing up the inside line. That's going to cause a wreck. I don't think race control is going to be happy with that one.
That does cause a wreck. That is not good for the 66 or the 7 Neo. Yeah.
Take a look here. It's just a really slow restart. Yeah. Just a chain reaction was caused there.
I have to see what race control deems that as, if you can keep me up to date on that. As there was definitely a checkup. Definitely a checkup, and then Ray Bracey got a hit on from behind. Oof, you can feel it right there.
Yeah, it was at the very least a very late caution, or a very late restart.
Oh my God, the 66 hood. It's not just the boulder. It's the rock.
It's a rock. It's a rock.
Oh man. If only we caught that hood on happier circumstances.
Unfortunate. Goody got a wave around. Goody's coming back.
Hey, that's what all the homies like to hear. You know what? I'm bored. Let's bring him up as he's going up to speed. Goody, you just got the wave around.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
You know, I still need 3 more, so I'll feel a little bit better then. But I swear it's the ghost, whatever lives in this 32 car, leads to internet issues, I guess.
Yeah, what happened?
That quality just went bad. I don't know if I got old country Starlink internet, so I don't know if it was changing a satellite or whatever the hell it does. But connection just dropped.
I think next year it's time for Do Good to invest in a different charter. Maybe get rid of this 32.
No kidding. Maybe we'll flip and go 23. You never know.
That's true. Well, unfortunately, this has been a bad couple laps for Do Good, considering the really good start you guys had. But you still have a driver in the number 19 Austin Beers currently in 3rd place. What do you think his chances are?
You know, he's got fresh tires. I know he's struggling a little bit after that spin, but I like he's got the track position. I think he's gonna let her eat. I think he's gonna get a win.
All right, and Mr. Goodman, this does not do good for your is-washed allegations. How do you think you're gonna get past that?
The what's that?
The is-washed.
Is washed? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't even know if I was ever, you know, dirty. I don't know. I was never unwashed, I guess.
All right, thank you so much, Goody.
Yeah, you bet.
I don't think he understands what is-washed meant. All right, well, we should be getting one to green this time.
Sorry, I'm just listening to the cause of yellows. So, all right. So they're saying that the checkup did cause the wreck, I think is what Vic's saying. But the reason that the wreck happened was because of people having big gaps in between the car in front of them going into turn 3 and 4. And then closing it up really tight at the last second, which then led to the actual contact happening. So that's why Ryan Gavel did not get an EOL there, and actually was given the Neil Rutt was given the cause of caution.
Okay, all right.
I'll have to ask Vic more about that afterwards. I didn't hear the full explanation because we were talking to Goody, but I believe that is what I've pieced together here. But we're about to get going green again, and Kynan Jones is now the control car. And he selected the outside here. See what happens here on this restart. Kynan Jones has control of the field in the restart zone, and he's going to get a good jump here. And Ryan Gallo spins his tires a bit, and it's going to open the door for Austin Beers down on the inside.
Yeah, fantastic start by Kynan Jones. Did a phenomenal job to not spin his tires as a control car and is able to pull away to a pretty good gap, as that heart rate temperature is the highest we've seen it this week at 177.
Yeah, that's the highest we've seen it in a while here. He's going to hit 180. There we go. Come on, Kynan. We got 190 in you. Let's go. I see he's finally given up on wearing that old headset, it looks like.
No, he's still wearing it. It's just facing the other way, so you can't really see it.
Oh, so he doesn't have it on the other ear anymore.
Yeah, no, he definitely can't hear from the right side.
Vince Isabella almost gets into a wreck. I was just looking there. Vince Isabella got clipped there by the 17 of James Miller. That would have caused a great change-up in this race.
Oh, Gavel on the wall. Side by side, Gavel and Beers going into the corner. As Beers dives it in there deep, he might get the advantage, slides up, but no, it's not cleared as Gavel's going to get a good run on the outside of the corner here in turns 1 and 2.
And Kynan Jones is loving this right now. These two are eating up their tires and also battling each other. But it looks like Beers will finally make that pass stick. Will Gavel try and send it right back down? He's going to have a run here. Jess Story was just given a black flag for leaving too big of a gap on the restart, so I guess race control is really cracking down on it here tonight.
Man, it's one of my drivers, unfortunately. That sucks. But Matt Hackathorn, first driver with 4 fresh set of tires, currently in 5th place, and he's in prime position to get the lead here should nobody make a mistake here.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. Austin Beers is trying to hunt down the 73 Kynan Jones before any of the fresh tire havers make that move now, as Vincent Isabella, who also has fresh tires, is on the outside of Matt Hackathorn, trying to put himself in the pole position, as it were, for the people with fresh rubber. Now he's going to try and look beneath James Miller here. He chooses to stay in behind him now for this corner. Austin Beers still trying to slowly gain in on Kynan Jones, but he's got to worry about the people behind him here very shortly.
Oh no!
There's almost a wreck. Vince Isabella got into the 17. 17 stayed it, but Vince Isabella was loose, and he got up into Matt Hackathorn. They're still trying to wreck there in that corner. Looks like Kyle Carlson got into the wall as well. Now Dylan Thomas is underneath of Vince Isabella. Gilberto Javier Gamero has also been given a black flag, and Alex Kenton a black flag for holding up too far in the restart. Austin Beers just taking the lead. Cameron Rich was also black flag.
Wow, yeah. Race control is not messing around with that.
So 5 cars, I think.
I think it's 3 cars that have got black flags for that. Excuse me, 4 cars that got black flags for that. Oh!
5 cars have been black flagged for that in total. Jess Story, Gilberto Javier Gamera, Alex Kenton, Cam Rich, and now add Neil Rutt to the list that have been black flagged for being too far.
And I think Jess Story pulled it in and called it a quits there because of that.
It's unlucky for Jess Story. Dylan Thomas is loose now. Now Vince Isabella's loose. Oh my goodness. So chain reaction almost leading to a wreck there. Caden Tuff sliding around.
This is what some of these drivers need.
Up into the...
Wow. What a punt. And they all kept going.
I'm surprised we are still green at this point in the race. You know, Austin Beers got by Kynan Jones, but Kynan Jones is hanging on right now. Ryan Gavel's right there as well. Less than 30 to go here, and we have a race on our hands. Oh, Kynan Jones! Oh no.
That's a big one. Ty McIntosh 0051. Dylan Thomas involved. Hackathorn involved. 18 as well. Cameron Rich says exiting pit road, so he's not a part of this, but huge damage.
Vincent Isabella got damage as well. So we're going to have to take a look at this. I believe Ryan Gavel's already said that that was his fault. Yeah. That just collects a lot of chase-off drivers. Matt Hackathorn just barely gets involved. Pretty sure the only 2 clean chase-off drivers out of that is Austin Beers and Ryan Gavel.
Oh yeah,
man.
just a clip. Going into the corner. That was enough to turn the 73 around in front of everyone. And a lot of these drivers, especially a lot of chase-off drivers, were involved.
Yeah, that was a tough one there.
And everyone's down pit road, by the way.
Yeah, everyone at this point in the race here. Now it's going to reset the field. We're going to have a duel between Austin Beers and whoever actually comes out. I'm not sure if Gavel's going to get an EOL for this.
Garcia with the 9-second pit stop. Austin Beers with 4 fresh tires. Gavel, Miller, everyone there after that 4 fresh tires. Neil Rutt stays out. Everybody else, I think Richard Garcia with a 9.4 second pit stop. I think he just took fuel and left. He's currently the race leader. Austin Beers and everybody back is going to be with 4 fresh Goodyear. So this is going to be the danger part for Garcia.
So I'm just listening right now about the call on this. So because this is Ryan Gavel's second incident on the night, he's getting an EOL here. And then he's also and they're just going to use the EOL that he got for speeding on pit road entry. And then because it's a second incident, he's also got to serve a drive-through here.
Ooh.
So basically, that opens it up for Austin Beers here to take a massive points lead coming out of tonight.
Yeah, and well, we have Ty McIntosh in the infield care center. Nathaniel, take it away.
All right, Tyler. I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to tell me. What did you see there on that wreck?
I don't really know what happened between the 1 and the 73. It just looked like they were racing hard, and I had nowhere to go. I was on the brakes before kind of even got sideways to make the corner and committed to the top, and I just couldn't get it slowed down fast enough. I don't think I would have got to it anyways. I mean, everybody was flying in right behind me, so just nothing to do, nowhere to go.
Yeah, a tough night for sure for yourself and the other shift boys, especially Ryan Gavel here for chase-off standpoints, as he's going to have to serve a drive-through here. The issue, I guess, now for you is going to be focusing on that team championship. What's your outlook here for the rest of the season? Do you still want to try and go for that individual points, or are you just putting that to the bed and just worrying about the team now?
I mean, at this point, man, I've come so long this season, and I've had a really good year. I'm not going to call it yet. I'm going to keep my foot in the door, and if the opportunity's there, I'm going to keep trying. I mean, I feel like this was a really good time for me to capitalize. Obviously, if I wasn't in the wreck, but unfortunately, I am. There's a lot of playoff guys that are out down there now, so I'm just unfortunately one of them. I mean, team championship, obviously, we've done really well all year. Gavel and I, we've had a rough night tonight, no doubt. Jake's doing really good though, so hopefully he can bring something home. It's just rough.
Definitely a rough circumstance here. Before we let you go for the night, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Matrix Apparel for hopping on board, man. They've been huge in my my confidence, and everybody at Shifty Sports, everybody's been really good tonight. 3 Wide TV for being an associate. Seth Rawls Design, Numbers by Joe, Vic for putting the show on, even though he's chaotic right now.
All right, calling out the commissioner on the broadcast.
I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying he's chaotic right now. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean a negative connotation. But Green Flag is back out. Thank you so much, Ty. Wish you the best of luck in your recovery. Hopefully you can come back next week.
Thank you.
All strong here, as the Lord that you truly are. But Richard Garcia, no problems here. Austin Beers now to his inside, looking for that lead position there with 23 laps remaining. Austin Beers, first driver with 4 fresh Goodyears, trying to get himself another win here. At the Rock is Richard Garcia. Oh no, Zach Gavin goes around.
Oh man, another one. Oh no!
Oh no! That might be a penalty.
Who was it that he collected there?
I think that may have been the 71 of Dave Carpenter. I don't know if Zach pegged the reverse to back up and maybe bring out a caution, or if he just didn't hold the brakes, because that just seemed weird. The car just kept on going.
Unlucky.
There's 71 involved, and I think that's also Kynan again. That's Rashid Coles. That's Rashid Coles, who also got involved in it as he slowed down to avoid the incident. Just too much rear brakes.
Man. So a bit of a demolition derby here in the second half, and it continues. What we missed on that restart was a great jump by Richard Garcia. He's going to have a chance to emulate that here and try and continue to pull away, but yeah, Zach Evans gets loose, and then just flying in was Dave Carpenter. This Isabel was lucky to avoid another incident. So we're going to be down to under 20 to go here when we get back going green. And as Tyler's mentioning, lots of chase-off guys out. So it's opening up for opportunities for people who are still in it, like Beers, really pull away. Capuano could have a really strong second half here, make up some ground in the chase.
And it's just really Beers, Capuano, and Gavel. Everybody else is in pit road with significant damage.
And Gavel had to do that drive-through, and I'm not sure if he got that drive-through done before the caution came out.
I don't know how OSCA is going to be calling it, but I believe in real-life NASCAR, if you have to do a drive-through and you're not able to get that done, then before another caution shows up, then you just start at the tail end of the field for that one. But I think he may be forced to do a proper drive-through. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Also, the cause of that caution was on the 6, but it's a formality. He was just given an EOL because I believe his car is cooked after that contact from the 71. So Richard Garcia, he won a couple of races earlier on in the season, had some strong showings. It's been quiet for the most of the second half, ended up missing the chase. But he finds himself leading a chase race with 20 to go here. You have lots of hungry drivers who are not really racing for anything anymore at this point in the season now that only really have to deal with Austin Beers and Thomas Capuano. Those are the only two cars that can really stop them from playing spoiler at this point. You see the field coming down here. I believe we're going to get 1 to green this time by. They're going to double up here. It looks like Garcia has picked the inside here. I was hoping that Vic would hop up here and we could ask for clarification about what the situation is on Gavel. Vincent Isabella has just been given a penalty for too many boxes on exit. So he'll be given an EOL. Not that an EOL is exactly large with the amount of cars still on track here. Look how small that field looks compared to what we had at the start of the night.
Yeah, a significant difference there. A lot of the drivers do have damage, so it's even less than that of those who can be capable of winning here tonight. Garcia, currently your race leader, does not have the freshest tires compared to everybody else behind him. But if he keeps on doing this and holding on to the lead, especially with the drivers right behind them battle side by side, this could work out for him.
Yeah, we're going to go green here. Garcia gets another good jump, and he's going to leave Beers in the dust here. Everybody else is able to get away cleanly. I'm going to take a look here at Ryan Gavel just to see if he does have to still take that drive-through. James Miller trying to hang on and get some good points tonight. Austin Beers is about to make a move for the lead.
Yeah, this is not what Richard Garcia wanted to see. He wanted Austin Beers and Miller to be battling side by side for a couple of laps, but no, instead Austin Beers was able to clear Miller and everybody else for that second place position, and now has his sights squarely set on battling Richard Garcia for that race lead as he dives down to the inside, but the advantage goes on to Garcia on the exit of the corner. Side by side they still go as they're finally single file going into turns 1 and 2. Garcia looks to the inside, Beers looks to the inside once again in 1 and 2. As exiting corner number 2, it's still going to be Beers, but now they're single file again as Garcia back on top point.
So Richard Garcia hanging on to the lead for now, coming to 16 to go. Garcia was black flagged, by the way.
Whoa! Oh, I wonder if it's because he crossed the start-finish line. Sorry, if he changed lanes before the start-finish line. I noticed that, but I couldn't remember if that was allowed in this series or not. So Garcia getting black flagged he is not going to be happy. He is, I believe, the 7th or 8th driver this half to be black flagged for a restart infraction.
Austin Beers will inherit the race lead. So Austin Beers really cruising off into the sunset now. I'm guessing Ryan Gavel had his drive-through cleared because he's still running here in 8th place.
what could have been for Garcia there. He had a good chance at winning this race. Oh, contact 52 and a 21 there in 3 and 4.
Looks like everybody's going to be okay. It's now really just about, can James Miller show anything to Austin Beers up front?
And all the drivers now do have 4 fresh tires, so we don't have a case of somebody out there with old tires possibly trying to steal a win. With 12 laps to go here this time by, as Austin Beers is slightly pulling away from James Miller and Watson.
James Watson having a good second half here after what was a unfortunate first half due to the pit strategy up here in the podium positions. Neil Rutt up in the top 10 again. How about Cameron Rich up into the top 10 again after basically being on his roof almost early on here in this half. So a strong recovery drive there from the number 20 car.
Yeah, if you had told me after a couple laps into this half that Cameron Rich would be in the top 10, I would not have believed you, and I just would have thought that you're trying to cheer me up because that is my race pick. Side by side, 3 wide they go. Gavel 52 and the 9. They all make it work there in the exit of 3 and 4. But yeah, I just would not have thought that Cameron Rich would have been solid in the top 10 at this point.
You know, James Miller's hanging tight with Austin Beers. He's actually gotten it down to 4 tenths and 3 tenths here. This race isn't over. Ryan Gavel has made his way back into 4th place, so a strong recovery drive from him. What could have been for Ryan Gavel if he did get into back of the 73 of Pine and Jones there. James Miller, we might want to go to the lead there, Carlos.
To who?
We might want to go to the lead here. James Miller he's right there.
And so is Watson. Let's take a look at their last couple laps. Oh, excuse me, that's not Watson.
That's Garcia, unfortunately. Yes. But James Miller, he's hanging tight. All it takes is one mistake potentially from Beers.
Oh, yeah, caution is out. I believe it's for Jake Scarborough. '52 has heavy front end damage. Let's take a look and see what brought out that caution.
I do hear Thomas Capuano, I believe, apologizing. I'm not sure if that is what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it looks like Kyle Carlson got into him here. Man.
Oh!
Who was that he clipped there? Was that Cameron Rich? Did Cameron Rich just make an incredible recovery drive just to get involved in another one? It's very unlucky for you, Carlos.
I try, and I just can't seem to make up ground this season on the commentators' picks.
Unlucky. Well, this is going to set up an exciting ending here because now Ryan Gavel, he's right there. He has a chance potentially to make up some points on Austin Beers right at the end of this one. And wrong place, wrong time for Cameron Rich, unfortunately.
We should have ourselves a good. This should not be a green-white checkered. I think this will be a natural attempt.
It'll be a natural green-white checkered attempt, I think, and then we'll have 2 more after that if required. Austin Beers, all he really needs here is a good jump on the restart, though. Don't think we're gonna have any takers in the pits. Wouldn't make any sense at this point.
Yeah, it would not, unless you're all the way in the back.
Yeah, it's the majority of the top 10. I think all of them are going to stay out. I think the first taker is Matt Hackathorn down in now 13th. Yeah, and everybody behind him as well. Still some discussions being had with drivers in race control.
Yeah, I have a feeling the drivers are not too happy right now with how strict race control is being. But it looks like, you know, the race control is having to do something. The drivers are making mistakes here left and right, and what's turning a very good half one showing of a very good potential night here in half number 2 has just gone sour. It's like a canned food that had a puncture on the can, so the food went bad well before somebody had a chance to eat it. As this is becoming to be a very bad night here for half number 2.
Crazy analogy there. Absolutely wild. All right, well, pace truck lights are off. Austin Beers has elected the top side here. I'm not sure if I like that call from Austin Beers because that's going to allow Gavel to get the jump he needs to be right behind him. If he had just picked the bottom there, he could have kept Gavel pinned behind the 17. We'll see how that works out for him.
We're going to be restarting here with 3 laps to go. So it's going to be a green, white checkered. So any caution that comes out after this before the white flag, or I guess I should say any caution that comes out after this, because iRacing does not throw a caution on the white flag, will result in the first attempt of 2 green white checkers here in half number 2. Let's just hope this race goes green the rest of the way, because I'm sure everybody here wants to see a natural clean finish.
Now let's see what happens here. Pace truck is off. Austin Beers was controlling the field again. He gets a good start. He checks up Ryan Gavel.
No!
David Westergreen's around.
No caution. He spun off before. Oh, caution's out.
Yeah, Big Bloom Race Control decided to throw that one. I think it was kind of a needed one there with everything that was happening. So we're going to have to go to our first green white checkered attempt.
Take a look here at the replay.
Bit of a checkup there, and I think Westergreen just got a bit of wheel spin, and Gilberto ran out of space. It's been a rough showing here in the second half. All these drivers are probably just trying to get to the end of the night now at this point. So we'll have at least one more attempt here. Austin Beers will still control of James Miller in second. Now Ryan Gavel's in third, so we'll see. Is Austin Beers still going to hold that outside? Is he going to switch to the inside? What type of decision is he going to make here?
We'll have to see here pretty soon. Probably maybe next time around. Only 15 drivers on the lead lap. Jake Scarborough and Dylan Thomas down, 1 lap down in 15th and 16th, but they are on track still, just with heavy damage.
It's gonna be a long night, I think, for race control after this one. Coming through and making a penalty report on the race. Definitely have to keep our eyes peeled on that to see how it affects the chase-off standings, if at all. So, ELL was given to the 9 for causing that caution, and the 54 and the 77 were given an ELL for too big of a gap on the restart. So 3 more
add that to the tally.
ELLs here.
77, Eisman going down pit road.
We're well beyond a dozen now at this point.
There's going to be a very big topic of discussion for the drivers as to the increase in the tolerances of restarts here and the violations that have come out here. I'm already seeing drivers that are arguing for race control doing this, and drivers who are very unhappy and are possibly going to be arguing for against, or I should say against, as to why race control is doing this. as long as things are kept civil, I shouldn't expect it to be a major issue.
Usually the drivers do a pretty good job of settling down once they're out of the car and talking to race control. It's just in the heat of the moment when you're behind the wheel.
All right, here we go. One to green. Yep, 1 to green. Taking a look, seeing who's out on track at the moment. 77, merging back up with the rest of the field. 54, exiting pit road right now. And trying to get himself back up. Other than that, everybody else is either in pit road with damage or they have parked the night. They have parked it for the night with half of laps remaining.
We'll see here what happens on this final restart. Beers does take the outside again, so he had the 17 on his inside. James Watson behind him, and then Gavel, his closest chase-off competitor, in 4th place. Also, Neil Rutt and Tom Scapiano, a couple chase-off drivers still sitting around in the top 10 that could take advantage here if something happens. We'll see how this restart goes for Austin Beers. He nailed it last time. Can he nail it at least one more time here? This is our first of 2 green-white checkered attempts here tonight. Austin Beers on the restart. He gets going, but James Miller gets a pretty good go. James Miller is going to be within striking distance here. As we fly off into turn 1, Austin Beers does have the advantage by a couple of car lengths. And he's able to dive in that corner well, and he's going to have a big gap here.
Oh, man.
Into the wall, I believe that was Neil Rutt.
Yeah, Neil Rutt, heavy damage.
Austin Beers for turn 3, turn 4, now taking the white flag. Just a couple more corners to go here. Ryan Gavel trying to look underneath for James Watson. Will he be able to grab a position here? Try and salvage some points. But out front, it's Austin Beers by about 4 or 5 car lengths now. Austin Beers through turns 3, turns 4. James Miller's not going to have enough. And Austin Beers is going to win half number 2 here. His first win of the chase-offs, and your points leader will extend his points lead.
And what a great race for him to capitalize on a lot of drama for a lot of these chase-off drivers. Gavel, Capiano, and Rudd, pretty much the only drivers that even if they did get caught up in incidents, they had themselves a relatively strong finish here compared to a bunch of the other drivers who were involved in finishing well outside the top 10.
Yeah, finishing out your top 10, we have James Miller, Ryan Gavel, Thomas Capuano, James Watson, Neil Rutt, Richard Garcia, Daniel Gore, and Gilberto Javier Camara, and Ray Bracey. Ray Bracey just hit the tire barrier, didn't he?
Yeah.
Why was Green blowing up, going the wrong way in the track?
I think they wrecked after the start-finish line.
The chaos continues here at Rockingham. Let's get your final results here for half number 2. So we already mentioned our top 10. So from 11th on down, we have Drew Eisman, Matt Hackerthorn, Vincent Isabella, Alex Kenton, Dylan Thomas, David Westergreen, Jake Scarborough, Michael Goodman, Kyle Carlson, Cameron Rich, Rashid Coles, Dave Carpenter, Zach Evans, Caden Tufts, Kynan Jones, Ty McIntosh, Jess Story, and Zach Rogers. Adam Peeler also was scored for this half, but finished 75 laps down in 29th place. There he is. So, a much more eventful night here, or eventful half here for half number 2. I believe we're waiting for Cameron Rich to talk to first here. He's not quite in the interview waiting room yet. There he is. Shall we bring it up right away?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, Cameron Rich, winner of half number 1. You put on an absolute clinic there. Just got out front and never really looked back and played the strategy perfectly. Can you talk us through your night?
It was a lot different in half 1 than it was in half 2 for sure. That was messy, but it was fun. I'm just really glad I was able to finally get a win in OSCA this season. I really just wanted to get one, and makes me happy. So I want to thank Rob for letting me drive the car. I hope, even with all the damage there in half number 2, we were gonna get a top 10 finish, I think. And then I just got involved in the last crash there, so, or one of the last crashes. I don't know. There was like 55 of them tonight, so Yeah, really messy. I think a lot of people are mad at each other.
Yeah, lots of unhappy drivers. I do think you were one of the few drivers to avoid getting a black flag at all tonight, so good on you for that. So something to be
Oh,
proud of. But
I did. I just was damaged in a lap down, so it didn't really
oh,
matter.
so it didn't really. Okay, I see, I see. But yeah, you're talking about how your half number 2 was a lot more messy. You got in that wreck early on. You got yourself all the way back up to 10th. What was that like? Just for it to be taken away for a wrong place, wrong time situation there.
It is what it is. I mean, I had 6.5 minutes of damage after the first incident, and with all the cautions and just taking laps down and everything, I got it down under a minute, and it was competitive enough to get a top 10. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm not running for points or anything here, so it's not a big blow to anything. It's just it's a lot of time. I just
Yeah.
wish that I wish there was more respect tonight and all that, especially with the championship going on. I mean, I feel like we had the same discussions last season near towards the end of the championship. So I just, I'm not in it this year, and I'm able to take an outside look at it, and I wish people would be more respectful. So that's just, whatever. But yeah, half one was great. I was just saving my stuff really there, and Austin was really fast on the short run, really in half one and half number 2. Congrats to him, by the way, for half number 2. But yeah, I just got in my groove and kind of set sail. So it was good to actually get a clean race for one. Not all of my races that I've done this year have been super clean. So good
Well,
to
as
see.
you mentioned, you're not really competing for points, so just going for wins. So you got that result, I guess, in the first half. Are we going to see you at all in these last couple of races this season, or are you done now for the year?
I think I'm probably done. So yeah, it was great. Now I'm gonna focus on seeing if we can get my drivers Tom and Matt to get something out of this championship. So good luck to them. I think at least Tom had a pretty good run tonight in half number 2. So I want to give congrats to him.
Yeah, Tom was one of the few chase-off drivers that was able to get a good result after everything that happened there in the last 40 laps of the race. Before we let you go tonight, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Robert Hill Jr. for letting me drive his car. Actually, kind of forcing me to, but I would drive his car anyway. So I appreciate that. And you guys for putting on the broadcast. I know it's a long one tonight, so I'll shut it up here pretty soon. But just my wife as well. So she was in the chat tonight. So I appreciate you, love you, biggest fan. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for putting on a good show in half number 1, and hopefully we'll see you again here sooner rather than later.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, that was Cameron Rich, half number 1 winner. Should I hand it over to you here for half number 2 winner, Austin Beers?
No, you take it. You take it away.
All right, I'll take it. All right, and here with half number 2 winner, Austin Beers. Austin, you showed some good pace there in half number 1, but Cameron Rich was just a bit too much, and he got in some trouble in half number 2. You were able to take advantage of it. Just talk us through your night.
Yeah, just a good points run in race number 1 there. Just kind of worked my way forward, stayed out of trouble, saved the tires as much as I could. I let Cameron get a little too far out, and then when I tried to catch him, I kind of burned him up a little too much. But then I was just kind of riding around, hoping there was not going to be a yellow, and kind of bunch the field up and just take the second place and go into half number 2, and that's what we did. And then just kind of was slowly working my way forward there in half number 2 and got turned. Did a little 360, kept going, and then pulled a little strategy with pitting a little early for the tires, and ended up getting a nice track position there. And ultimately, that kind of won us the race. Just not having to pass many cars, and then just be smooth on restarts. I noticed the 57 did do a little bit of a lane change. It was going to be tough to pass him, even though he was on 2. It's just really tough to pass here with how we were on the top and stuff and getting tight on the bottom. But I think we would have got him without him getting penalized. But, all in all, a really good points day for us. We'll just keep clicking and, just try to go on a summit point and maybe pull a rabbit out of the hat and win one of those.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a good points night for you. You're probably really pulling away now with your championship lead at this point. You're the highest chase-off driver in both halves, and in half number 2, a lot happened to a lot of chase-off drivers. Do you have any view of what happened, or were you just ahead of it all, so you really were kind of just in the clear?
I was ahead of most of it. Gavel got me turned. Shout out to Ryan Gavel for spinning me out, kind of. No, it's all good. It's just hard racing coming through the pack there, and he unfortunately, made a move that I probably would have made, but just clipped the 99, and the 99 clipped me. But all good, no harm, no foul. But yeah, just a lot of people getting upset tonight. Don't know what it was all about, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the first and second, so I'll be smiling going to sleep tonight. I'm sure some people will be going to bed pissed off.
Yeah, one of the few happy campers tonight for sure. I don't think there's many of them. Before we let you go here, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, Hacks Discord, Do Good Motorsports, Fence Line Films, Ford, The Joyous Seating, Shark Lounge always, and everybody on the Do Good team as well as like I said, just a fun group of guys to race with, and then we have Tom and Matt in there as well. Shout out to the broadcast and Vic like always, and we'll see you guys at Summit Point.
All right, well, thank you very much for some entertaining racing tonight, Austin, and best of luck next week at Summit Point.
Thank you.
All right, that was Austin Beers, your half number 2 winner. A lot to unravel in the evening and probably tomorrow for drivers in the chase and just the admin team in general. But any other closing words for yourself tonight, Carlos?
Half one was beautiful. I'm glad that we ran a really good half number one.
Half one was fantastic. It kind of makes up for the shenanigans that happened at the end of half number 2. But I think other than that, I think it's time to wrap up here. So for Carlos Acosta, I'm Nathaniel Cherry. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next week for Summit Point for round 3 of the OSCA Chase-Offs.